everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I am swelteringly hot in this room trying to record this video for you, but today I really wanted to talk about the sabbat of LUGHNASADH or LAMMAS. So what is LUGHNASADH or LAMMAS? Well, LUGHNASADH is a pagan sabbat that is all about celebrating the last remaining parts of summer. If it helps you to look at LUGHNASADH on the wheel of the year and see what sabbat is opposite to it on the wheel of the year, which is Imbolc, then you will see that whilst Imbolc is all about the very first signs of spring, LUGHNASADH is essentially all about the very first signs of autumn at the end of summer. So at Imbolc you would see the snowdrops and other small cute little signs of spring appearing, and at LUGHNASADH you might start to see the leaves turning golden brown, just a little bit, a few little blackberries becoming riper. So in the case of both of these sabbats, there is the sense that something is ending. In the case of Imbolc, it is about the start of the end of winter, and LUGHNASADH, which is, I think tomorrow, it's celebrated on August the 1st, is all about the start of the end of summer. So kind of sad, but also we're still enjoying this beautiful, lovely weather and just enjoying soaking up those last few rays of sunshine. Lu is one of the Celtic gods who was regarded as the most bright, most shining one. So rather than him being a sun god, which I think some people have that association, he's more of just the brightest, the most kind of shining one, in that he was the most talented one. So LUGHNASADH in the Celtic tradition is all about honouring the god Lu, and Lu had a spear of destiny, and this spear of destiny correlates to the suit of wands in tarot. So in traditional tarot, wands of course are associated with fire. They're also associated with the previous zodiac sign that I covered in my last video, Leo, and wands are associated with fire because they are where you channel your will, where you channel the essence of your spirit, which is that which is governed by fire in all of us. So yes, LUGHNASADH is essentially the festival of Lu, but it's important to remember that, at least in Wiccan belief systems, the goddess is essentially very much in her mother aspect at this time, giving birth to all of the abundance that we essentially see around us at this time, all of the food and fruits and sustenance that is so readily available. And at the same time you have this story that the god archetype, the sun god, is sacrificing his life in preparation for winter, but sacrificing his life so that he can feed the people. It is said that the sun god sacrifices his life with the first cutting of the corn or the grain or the wheat, and this is a sacrifice that he makes at the end of summer to sustain the community through the coming winter. So this whole theme of the god, the male deity, being sacrificed for the betterment of humanity is something that does echo the story of course, Christ sacrificing himself on the cross. And this is an interesting parallel to make because LUGHNASADH, the pagan festival, has also been made into the Christian celebration of LAMMAS, which also essentially celebrates the harvest and the summer coming to an end. But regardless of whether you see this sacrifice as the pagan sun god sacrificing his life, or the Christian god or Jesus sacrificing his life, regardless of which way you view it, the main theme around this festival is very much one of life and abundance and death and sacrifice. So the life aspect of LUGHNASADH is essentially all about the mother goddess, and the beautiful thing about the harvest is that the grains in the wheat or the barley or whatever it is also contain the seeds to create all of the future harvests to come, and within those harvests also contain the seeds of all the future harvests to come. And so you have this line of your grain ancestors, I suppose, through the seed that kept being carried on and carried through after each harvest through years and years to come. And this can be likened to the mother goddess, or just mothers in general who may be pregnant with a female child. If you think about that, that mother is carrying the ovary of the unborn female child, which will contain all of the eggs that that female child will ever need in her lifetime. And so you have the mother being connected to her future daughter's motherhood, and it's this mother line that is very sacred in Wicca and is echoed so beautifully in the way that the harvest has this connection to all future harvests, and mothers have this connection to all future mothers, and it's this really beautiful link between the two, and something that I feel works really well with the mother goddess being in her mother goddess aspect at this time. So in terms of LUGHNASADH or LAMMAS in 2020 specifically, what is going on astrologically? What are some of the astrological influences that we can expect to see? Well, immediately after this sabbat, which is of course on the 1st of August, on the 2nd of August, the sun will be square to Uranus, and that basically means that anything that was not serving us before, anything that was just kind of clinging on and didn't really have a reason for being there, maybe some kind of sentimental reason that just doesn't really have a use for us anymore, all of these little niggles that were just clinging on, all will just suddenly fall away, and finally you will be free of some of these lingering influences that perhaps you don't need anymore. So with this in mind, a meditation for letting go might be a wise idea to do on the evening of LUGHNASADH this year specifically, to help you to prepare for this shift when we will be letting go of some things on the 2nd, and also just to help us to bid farewell to summer, or start to bid farewell to summer. So immediately after this, which I will also be making its own separate video for, on the 3rd of August we have the full moon in Aquarius. So this will help us to very boldly cleanse ourselves of the past even further, and it's a really exciting time. So if you like, you can subscribe to me and you will see that video when it comes out to give you more understanding of the incoming astrological influence of this full moon on this sabbat of LUGHNASADH. So what are some ideas of how we could go about celebrating LAMMAS this year? Well, as I was saying about the suit of wands earlier, and of course the god Lu with his spear of destiny, a really fitting way to celebrate LAMMAS as a sabbat specifically is by making your own wand or decorating any wands that you already have. So this is my wand. I've had it for many years, but I might add some extra decorations to it this year because, you know, it's been like this for quite a while. Yeah, that's one idea, is just find some fallen wood in the forest if you don't already have a wand, and just make it your own and personalise it. Reflect on the fieriness of the season. It's the season of Leo, the zodiac sign, and how you are going to channel your fiery spirit into this wand to create your magic in the world. So that's one really nice idea. Another idea is to make a grain mother or corn dolly. This is a traditional activity that involves picking either wheat, barley, or even just dried grass, and turning it into a kind of human-like figure. So this is going to be really basic, obviously, because it's tying different strands of wheat or barley or grass or whatever you have access to together in order to create that representation of the great mother goddess, the mother of the grain. So this is one that I made, and this was literally just made with grass cuttings from my own garden that had just been sitting in my garden for a long time, not being used. But as you can see, you have some grass seeds at the top there, so it still represents that potential of the seed and the grain and the harvest. And as you can see, I have some little pretty ribbons going down here in the colours of the season: yellow, golden, orange, amber, and this is kind of the head and these are meant to be the arms. So as you can see, it's just really basic. But you can make it more elaborate if you want, and it's just a really fun activity if you want to go out for a walk in nature and just pick up whatever you can find of dried grass, dried wheat, barley, corn, anything like that, and take it all home and twist it into a little figure like this. It's a super cute idea, and then you can leave it on your altar and display it for the duration of the sabbat. One final way to celebrate LAMMAS or LUGHNASADH is to bake bread. So the word LAMMAS actually comes from the Old English word for loaf mass. So as such, baking loaves of bread is a really great traditional activity, especially as that involves grain and it can get you in touch with that earthiness of the harvest and the mother goddess's providing spirit. You can also drink beer as well, maybe brew your own beer if you want to be super fancy. Or just drinking beer is a good idea because that is derived from barley. So all of these things can help tie you into the grain of the land and just have that to reflect on and be thankful for. So thank you so much for watching, guys. My camera actually died in the middle of filming this, so that's why things might look a little bit different now to how they did for the first part of the video. But it would really help me out if you left a comment about how you're going to celebrate LAMMAS this year if you have any ideas that I haven't mentioned, and if you want to get more of a sense of the energies that are around at this time, I would recommend watching my earlier video on the zodiac sign of Leo, as that goes into a lot of the properties of that sign that the sun is currently in, and that will be having a big influence on the sabbat of lunasad or LAMMAS this year. If you want to, you can also subscribe because it would help me out a lot, and also that way you'll get to see my new full moon video coming out very shortly. So have a wonderful lunasad or LAMMAS everybody, and blessed be.